Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Monday Lunchtime Digest for May 12th, 2025. Happy Monday, Haley.
Happy Monday, Micah.
And this is a very special edition of the Monday Lunchtime Digest because what some people may have seen on social media blowing up, and it was actually posted in the Oklahoma Providers for Privacy group. So if you're not familiar with them, it is the group that was started by Shay Espinoza in response to the Health Information Exchange. And so she has this group on Facebook. And, if you remember back to the Health Information Exchange, where that was actually passed into law, and they had sent it to the Oklahoma Healthcare Authority to make the rules on the Health Information Exchange. And that's whenever it got the attention of Shay Espinoza, and she's like, hey, wait a minute, this is going to influence client confidentiality and all this other type of stuff. And so then really started this grassroots movement that led to protests at the Capitol and all types of people calling into their representatives and things like that, and ended up getting that law changed so that no longer was it required the Oklahoma mental health professionals be in the Health Information Exchange, but that it was an option then to be in the Health Information Exchange. And just as a side note, I have a very good friend that works in healthcare that has access to the Health Information Exchange. And, those fears that like any healthcare provider would be able to access mental health records. I mean, that is true. And so this person does nursing for like kidney dialysis and things like that. And so is looking at Health Information Exchange in relation to that, but can easily click onto mental health records and see progress notes that have happened with a client that she's working with and stuff. That's not anything that my friend needs to do. So that's not anything that they peruse. But any type of idea that there's like an additional layer of safeguards and things like that, that presently is not the case. So that validates the concern that mental health professionals had about this bill from the beginning. But this was started by Shay Espinoza. And so this morning, Johnny Friedman, Dr. Friedman, he is on the Oklahoma Board of Behavioral Health Licensure. He's also in leadership with the Oklahoma Counseling Association. Posted, this was about an hour ago, so this was right around 11 o'clock, that called for an urgent response from Oklahoma LPCs, LMFTs, that Representative Mike Osborne has pulled the licensure board's sunset vote. And so if you're not familiar, whenever the board was created, it was created in a way that the Oklahoma legislature would have to periodically come and vote that the board should continue to exist. And so it was just a safeguard to have in place that every once in a while they just vote like, yes, we want this board to continue to exist. This has happened ever since its beginning. I don't know I'm not for sure what it is. I want to say it's like every 3 years or something like that, every 4 years. I'm not sure exactly what the time frame is. But anyway, it was on the agenda to be voted on for this year. So he says, that Mike Osborne has pulled it from the licensure board sunset vote. And what this means is that our licensure board will be sunsetting and has 1 year to wrap up its business and close its doors. So saying June, basically 2026 is whenever the Oklahoma Board of Behavioral Health will no longer exist. No licenses, without a license, we won't be able to see clients or bill services. Urgent, call your personal legislator representatives, act now. And so really this red alert for Oklahoma mental health professionals, specifically LPCs and LMFTs, to act on this. Well, whenever I saw this, I thought back to our town hall meeting, Haley, that we had, back. When did we have our town hall? Was it in
February? Second week of February.
Yes. So we had our town hall meeting back in February, and we invited all the heads of the different associations that were part of Oklahoma Mental Health. We had the Oklahoma Counseling Association was there. We had the Healthy Minds Policy Institute was there. We had the Oklahoma Psychological Association represented. We had all types of wonderful organizations that came and told us about their concerns about the legislative agenda that was coming up. And the thing that stuck out in my mind, this is Brittany Hayes from the the Healthy Minds Policy Institute, what she had said. So I'm just going to play this briefly.
Oh, Micah, I don't think the sound is coming through.
Okay, so I'm sorry. Let me reshare this then. Okay, let's see if we can hear it this time.
This coincides with those.
An update there too is, so all of the that are in 2025 will be heard this year. If there is a sunset in 2026, the committee chair has indicated reference of the chair that they have capacity in time to deal with all of the 2025 sunsets before they take up the 2026 sunset.
You got that with the audio and everything. So basically, Brittany Hayes said that all the 2025 sunsets will be heard, but the 2026 sunsets, which would include the Oklahoma Board of Behavioral Health, may not be heard this year. And so the fact that it was on the agenda was kind of a proactive measure because the legislators, they knew that they had a lot that they wanted to get done. And so even back when talking with Brittany Hayes there at the town hall, she said that it may not come up this year. Don't be alarmed. And then what do we see? We see people getting alarmed because it was taken off the agenda. So if we go back to back here to the post then on the Oklahoma Providers for Privacy. We see, a bit of an update. So this was sent out, and then it was just a few minutes later. Here we go. We have a follow-up on the Board Behavioral Health Crisis. Mr. Ashmore, which is the board's executive director, and the OCA's lobbyist, which is Linda Murphy. Is that correct, Hayley?
Yes, I believe so.
Are reaching out to Representative Osborne's office and have requested that we not individually contact his office at this point. Well, already a few minutes ago, I was called on red alert to do all of these things. And then now I'm told to, okay, back off and not do anything. And then we are still encouraged to reach out to our personal legislators. So my understanding from reading through, some of these comments is that it was taken, one person stated that it was taken off because of everything that they have going on with the Oklahoma Department of Mental Health and Substance Abuse, how there's this big hearing that's going on with everything that's going on there. So it was proactively put on the agenda. The board does not sunset until June of 2026 because everything is so busy. It was taken off the agenda. And then we have, Johnny Friedman, who is on the board, and leadership in OCA calling for urgent action that, of course, everyone is going to get all revved up and go into red alert mode to do something. And then is told a few minutes later, okay, wait, everyone, calm down. We'll find out more about this. And so I I personally, felt that, first of all, as far as urgency, in my opinion, and of course, everyone, yourself, you have to decide for yourself and get your own information. But my opinion is that this is like a yellow alert situation. So the Connors code system, which I recently heard about, Haley, which I thought a lot about. White is no worry, yellow is a little worry, orange is moderate, red is red alert, right?
Mm-hmm.
So this is, in my opinion, a yellow alert situation. Like, it raises some concern. We need to have it on the radar. It will most likely be on the agenda for next year, and we'll get voted, and we'll be fine. People may not remember, but this happened in 2019. It was a little different scenario, but it was a time in 2019 where there was a fear that the Oklahoma Board of Behavioral Health was going to cease to exist. Everyone got all revved up. I contacted Representative Osborne, and he told me, people don't need to worry. No one wants to get rid of the board. This is, frankly, he said in his response to me, irresponsible to get everyone riled up about this because this doesn't have anything to do with eliminating the board. That's what he told me in 2019. And so I don't feel that he has any desire to eliminate the board. I know everyone is all worried about right now with the political climate and things like that. But just based on the information that we have from Brittany Hayes saying back in February, don't get riled up if these things get taken off the agenda or aren't put on the agenda. From it's not due, the board doesn't sunset, it doesn't close until 2026. So we have a whole nother legislative session to vote this in and be fine. And with everything going on, they weren't able to put it on the agenda. That for Johnny Friedman, who represents the board and also who represents, OCA, to call for this urgent message, I feel like was just too reactionary. And I feel like, in my humble opinion, should have taken a step and coordinated with Eric Ashmore, who he didn't talk to until after he posted the post. Talk to Eric Ashmore, talk to the OCA lobbyist, get direction from them on, okay, do we need to red alert people on social media about what's going on, and get guidance from them before posting this. I find it a little confusing why this was posted the way that it was before those people were brought in and a plan was made to how should we address this. The other thing that I find a little bit confusing too is that this wasn't posted on the OCA Facebook page. This was posted on the Providers for Privacy page, which was the page that, again, Shea Espinoza made for the ground roots effort to stop the HIE, which slipped under the radar of the OCA and became law. And the fact that it was posted on that page, because I'm assuming, recognizing that that page has a strong drive for advocacy and will act on things, that it was posted on that page as opposed to other places on social media. So in my humble opinion, this was too reactionary. It was put out too soon. It's a yellow alert situation. It's not a red alert situation. And I encourage anyone who sees something like this, I don't care if it's coming from OCA, if it's coming from OCI, who it's coming from, take a beat, get your information from other sources, figure out what's going on, and not just immediately start spreading the word about this atrocity that is happening because this one person says an atrocity is happening. Because that just spreads, through social media like crazy. It gets everyone all riled up. We're all stressed out enough as it is. We don't need to manufacture stress where there's not any. So in my humble opinion, and again, people who are watching this, that you have to decide for yourself. You may think I'm completely off base. You may think I don't know what I'm talking about, and that is perfectly fine. But in my humble opinion, this is a yellow alert situation that the Oklahoma legislation, from my understanding, will be able to vote on it next year, that there is no no strategy right now to get rid of the Oklahoma Board of Behavioral Health, and that, everything is fine. Everything is fine. No need to get riled up. That's my thoughts. So Hayley, what are your thoughts about this?
So I'm along the same lines as you on many of your points, especially the reactionary portion. I think that we were so caught off guard by the HIE, and we had to be reactionary. We had to call our legislator. We had to protest. We had to inform everyone. We had to push back, and we had to fight back, and for good reason. And I think that hard work paid off, and many thanks to Shea Espinoza and her coordinating a lot of the efforts. Like we got stuff done. And I think that it's easy for us nowadays to be very reactionary because of that, because we have had, again, with the HIE, times whenever things were happening behind the scenes, or we weren't paying attention as closely as we should have, and it could have led to a lot more trouble for our clients. And so I think I understand the urge to be reactionary, but I think, as Micah said, it is a reminder to take a beat and to research before we react. Maybe asking questions first, whether it is to those groups or calling your legislator, or reaching out to your representative or the representatives of the bill, or reaching out to your colleagues for more understanding. Because there's already a lot of threats against the state of mental health in Oklahoma right now, especially for those who serve Medicaid populations. And so I think it's very important for us to, as Micah said, not to add more stress whenever it is not needed. It is a yellow alert. I do like that system. It is a yellow alert right now. We need to make sure that, hey, let's keep an eye out, make sure this is on the agenda for next legislative session. If it's not, then let's bump that up to an orange or a red alert. If it's taken off the agenda in May of 2026, that would be cause for concern, because the board, as Micah says, sunsets and June 2026 if no legislative action is taken. But right now, it's just something to kind of be mindful of. And again, if we are in the wrong, let us know, because I'm sure there are things that Mike and I aren't fully aware of too. That's why we have the legislative town hall each year. So that way we can learn from different organizations about, not only what is going on, but how will this impact us? Because not one individual can keep track of everything unless it's your full-time job. That's not my full-time job. And so, we try to stay informed as much as we can. We also try to reach out to other colleagues to make sure that we have a greater understanding. And in fact, we reached out to Brittany Hayes with Oklahoma, the Healthy Minds Policy Initiative before this call. And she said she would reach out to us if there's any kind of changes that we need to be aware of. And so if we hear of any changes, we hear of any red alerts, then we'll be sure to let you know if something changes. But right now, I think it's time, as Micah says, just to kind of take a beat, stay informed, keep an eye on it. But we don't need to worry right now about losing our ability to practice. But again, keep an eye on it.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. So we'd love to have your comments. If you agree, disagree, then please comment in the section below. I'm sure, in the next day or two, we will probably get a response on something about, why it was taken off the agenda and things like that. And we will do our best to let people know through our Facebook group, and also, with an upcoming article on what we learned about this. And we'll do the best that we can to report and to inform people by making sure that we validate all of our resources and information and things like that before we put anything out there to you. But again, make sure that you get information from various sources before getting in a panic about something that maybe don't need a panic about. And so wanted to make sure that we talked about that, because that was showing up all over the place. It's kind of reminded me of, I used to watch Meet the Press every Sunday morning. And so Chuck Todd would say, a very special edition of Meet the Press. And you're like, oh, crap, what's going on now? And so this seemed like a very special edition of Monday Lunchtime Digest. But to happier things, we have coming up this week our Summer Super Summit coming up Thursday and Friday.
Yes, we are very excited. We are already at our largest group yet, and we still have 3 more days for folks to register. But it's already our largest conference yet. We are very excited to host all of the licensed mental health professionals, as well as we have got a few candidates. We have a few case managers who'll be joining, but we're really excited to see the big group that we have. We have some folks who have come every year. We have a lot of new faces too, which really excites me. And on top of that, we have a lot of vendors coming not only from Oklahoma, but out of state too. We have some out of state sponsors, we have some in-state sponsors. We have vendors represented all across the map. And so I think that this is going to be our most fun Summer Super Summit yet. I mean, one, because, we're going to be there. We always try to make it fun. But it's going to be our largest group. We're going to have some incredible breakout presenters and wonderful keynotes. We have Terrence Walton with NATIC, who's going to be keynote for day one. Dr. Brian Cooey from Arcadia Trails, former clinical director at Betty Ford Hazelton, who's going to be keynote for day number 2. We'll have, as always, 3 different tracks: a general track, drug and alcohol specific track, and a child and adolescent track. We have the opportunity to earn up to 14 CEs. That includes up to 13 drug and alcohol specific CEs, up to 4.5 ethics CEs, up to 3 supervision CEs, and much more. And so, as Micah said, we still have a few more days to register. Members can save $50 on registration. And if you have any questions about signing up for a membership, or if you have any questions about our breakout sessions, feel free to send us a text, 405-440-3034. I'm a millennial. I always have my phone on me. So if I'm not in session, I'll get back to you soon. Or send us an email. But you can you can check out the entire breakout lineup now at summersupersummit.com. I know I'm super stoked about it. Can't wait to give you guys a full report next week. But really, I hope that you join us this Thursday and Friday.
Yes, we'd love to see you guys there. And we're going to have a wonderful conference. And, one of the things is that a lot of mental health conferences are actually, declining in people coming to them. But yet we are going against the grain in that we are continue to grow year after year. And I think that just is a testament to, the type of quality presenters that we strive to have. They're by invitation only, so we don't put out an open call for presenters. Each one is invited specifically to come speak for us. They're people that we know their work, we admire their work, maybe we worked with in the past, and so we ask them to come. We take participant feedback very, very seriously. So if some presenter just does not hit the mark, well, then we may not invite them back. And so we are very, very attuned to the feedback that we get. And then also we work really hard to make it be affordable and not just really, really, expensive for people to come. I was looking at another conference I think we were talking about last week, Hayley, a state conference that per CEU, they were charging, I want to say like twice as much per CEU to attend their conference as what we were charging for ours. And so the fact that we work really hard to make it be high quality, but yet affordable, I think is the reason why we see it continue to grow. So you still have a chance to sign up for Summer Super Summit. And so check out the lineup at summersupersummit.com and join us this Thursday and Friday. We'd love to have you.
Yes, we'll be kicking off at 9 a.m. on Thursday and going those next 2 days. So please join us. We hope to see you there. Yes.
And then, Hayley, we also have some workshops coming up in June.
Oh, we have a lot of workshops coming up in June. I think I might have said this last week, but between the Summer Super Summit, June, and our catalog, we have over 220 hours of CE opportunities for folks. And so among those CE opportunities, on Saturday, June 7th, we're going to welcome Lisa King. So Lisa King she's one of my favorite presenters. I think she does a great job talking about trauma. And this month, she's going to be talking about, in the morning, a 3-hour seminar on working with substance abuse and trauma. In the afternoon, she'll be doing a 3-hour seminar on helping clients who've experienced trauma build resilience. And then on Saturday, June 14th, another one of my favorite presenters, Kayla Jones, she's going to do a 3-hour training in the morning on an introduction to sex therapy. In the afternoon, a 3-hour training on the ethics of doing couples counseling. And then on Saturday, June 21st, another one of my favorite presenters, Jamie Lavecchio, she'll be coming in from Weatherford to do a 3-hour substance abuse specific training on harm reduction and substance abuse counseling. And in the afternoon, another one of my favorite presenters, Terry Schuline, she'll be doing a 3-hour supervision training with us. So June is full of my favorites, a lot of great people and a lot of fantastic presenters. And so if you are interested in joining any of those live seminars, you can go to counselinginstitute.org and register today. All will be taking place at the new Halo project off of Broadway and Memorial in Edmond, Oklahoma City, right on that dividing line. And so we hope that we see you next month as well.
Yes, we're really excited about those workshops coming up in June. As you said, we already have a lot of on-demand courses that are available. All of them meet criteria for Oklahoma behavioral health, are board approved by the LPCs, LMFTs, LDCs, and LCSWs for all the different boards here in Oklahoma. So you can rest assured that if you take any of those courses online or in person, that they will count toward your licensure here in Oklahoma and beyond, because we're also an NBCC approved provider. And then Hayley, I also know we have something new coming up, the Whimsical Wednesdays. So you want to talk a little bit more about that?
Absolutely. So starting on Wednesday, June 4th, we'll be having Whimsical Wednesdays. So Whimsical Wednesdays will take place from 5:30 to 7 p.m. on the first Wednesday of the month. And so every month we're going to vary in locations. Sometimes we might go on a nature walk. Sometimes we might, go have dinner. Sometimes we might do goat yoga, Micah says. But this very first time we'll be meeting at Prairie Artisan Ales in Oklahoma City. That's from 5:30 to 7. It is free to join. Food and drink are on your own, but it's free to join. And really the purpose of this group is to give mental health providers a place just to go connect. It's not necessarily a consultation group. It's not necessarily a marketing group. It's just a place for us all to get together, just unwind, connect, and maybe even make some friends along the way. As mental health providers, it's easy to get isolated in our field, especially when we have big caseloads or we work in private practice. So this is just a time for those of us who work in mental health field to get together, enjoy each other's company, and maybe bring our dogs too, so they can meet and we can all be friends with their dogs. I mean, that's just an option too, right, Micah?
Yes. So if you haven't been to Prairie, you can bring your dog inside there. So I may bring Benny, my golden retriever. I might bring him with me. So yeah, you can bring your pooch as well. And as Hayley said, certainly, market, tell us about what you do and things like that. But it's just a relaxed atmosphere just to come hang out a little bit with other mental health providers that understand the struggle, right? And just sit back and relax in a very relaxing atmosphere. So we have a lot going on at OCI, and we would love for you to check out everything that we have at counselinginstitute.org. So Hayley, who is our winner for this week?
So our winner this week, drum roll please, Michelle Barron. Congratulations, Michelle.
Congratulations, Michelle. So Michelle, you have won a free on-demand webinar. So you just get with Hayley and let Hayley know which on-demand webinar that you would like, and you can get that added to your account for free. So congratulations, Michelle.
Congratulations. And please reach out, Michelle. Send me an email, send me a text. And if you would like to be like Michelle, you can do one of three or all three of these things. You can like this post, share this post, or comment your answer to today's question on this post. Every time you do one of those three things, not only do you help us be seen by others, but you also get entered into a chance to win next week's prize. So do one of those things, that's one entry. Do three of those things, that is 3 entries. And so if you would like to be like Michelle, answer today's question. Today's question is, what is your favorite sport to either play or watch? And so...
What's your favorite sport to either play or watch?
Yes. So I'm not much of an athlete. Like, I like to go for runs or work out, but I'm not really a sports person. But I played pickleball with my 8-year-old niece this weekend and had the best time. Did I get creamed by an 8-year-old? I absolutely did. I gave her a nickname of soft serve that she really doesn't like, but she completely creamed me. But it was the absolute best time to go play pickleball on the Elk City tennis courts. And so, what about you, Micah?
Well, I think right now I'm going to have to say basketball because of the Oklahoma City Thunder. So me and Trinity watched the Thunder play last night, and they were able to win over the Nuggets. So that means they come back to Oklahoma City to play the next game. So really pulling for the Thunder. So I have to say Thunder basketball right now is my favorite thing to watch.
Oh, that's a great one too. I forgot about that. I'm out of touch with the Thunder. I'm glad that they're progressing. So
yes.
Tell us, do you like to watch the Thunder? Do you like to play pickleball? Do you like to do something else? Comment below and let us know. We look forward to seeing your replies.
Yes. So let us know. And as Hayley said, you will be entered to win, and you could win a free on-demand course next time. So thank you, everybody, for joining us. Everyone have a good week. We hope to see you later this week at the Summer Super Summit. And if not, we will see you next week at the Monday Lunchtime Digest.
Oh, have a good week.
Bye, everyone.